Azteca, qué linda eres. Qué bonitos ojos tiene debajo de esas dos cejas, debajo de esas dos cejas. Qué bonitos ojos tiene. Ellos me quieren mirar, pero si tú no los dejas, pero si tú no los dejas, ni siquiera parpadear. Malagueña salerosa, besar tus labios quisiera, besar tus labios quisiera, malagueña salerosa, y decirte, niña hermosa, eres linda y hechicera, eres linda y hechicera como el candor de una rosa. ¡Oh, yeah! ¡Opa! Con tus ojos me anunciabas que me amabas tiernamente, que me amabas tiernamente. Con tus ojos me anunciabas, ingrata me traicionabas cuando de ti estaba ausente, cuando de ti estaba ausente. De mi pasión te burlaba, malagueña salerosa, besar tus labios quisiera, besar tus labios quisiera, malagueña salerosa, y decirte, niña hermosa, eres linda y hechicera, eres linda y hechicera como el candor de una rosa, como el candor de una rosa.
When it's for theological or general educational purposes, and thus Bible Chronicles believes that this principal material falls under fair use, which honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Copyright disclaimer. This content does not belong to Bible Chronicles or claim this intellectual property. The content provided today has and always will belong to the content owner. Bible Chronicles does not have any affiliation with the owner of this property. As mentioned, Bible Chronicles did not intend to make use of any material for the purpose of harvesting gain. However, Title 17 of United States copyright law states material in use can only be done when it's for theological or general educational purposes, and thus Bible Chronicles believes that this principal material falls under fair use, which honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
Deja que salga la luna, deja que se meta el sol, deja que caiga la noche, pa' que empiece nuestro amor. Deja que las estrellitas me llenen de inspiración para decirte cositas muy bonitas, corazón. Yo sé que no hay en el mundo amor como el que me das, y sé que noche con noche va creciendo más y más. Y sé que noche con noche va creciendo más y más. Cuando estoy entre tus brazos, siempre me pregunto yo, ¿cuánto me debía el destino que contigo me pagó? Por eso es que ya mi vida toda te la entrego a ti, tú que me diste en un beso lo que nunca te pedí. Yo sé que no hay en el mundo amor como el que me das, y sé que noche con noche va creciendo más y más. Y sé que noche con noche va creciendo más y más. Deja que salga la luna.
Apparently this platform's acting now stupid. All of a sudden things don't work. It's all good. Whoever's watching, shalom, saludos, buenas tardes. Academias, buenos dias. If you're still there, I will be revealed. Yeah, please, man, if you guys can. You know how it goes. You know how it goes, man. Hope y'all doing well today. Got something going on here. And, there's a reason for the music. I know a lot of you suckers don't like that because you're a lot of enemies here. I find it very interesting. It doesn't matter. Anyhow, let's see what's going on, man. What's going on? Let's see what's going on. Let me try to do something here. Let's see what I can do here real quick. Give me a second. So, ain't much to wait. I don't see why I can't just go on now. Let's see what we got going on. Give me a second, family. Let's go, man. Let's go. All right. So, let's begin. I'm going to start this up with a joke. You know what I mean? Because you know me, man. I like to joke. Let's get a little joke going on here. I think this is, comedy. Our gente understands it. Because if you don't get it, you don't get it. So that's the point. That's the point. Frenemies, be ready. I got something real good today. I always try to, man. Sometimes it's kind of repetitive. I get it. But a lot of you guys don't understand why I do it. So if you do, then great. Let's see what we got going on. I do notice something very interesting lately. I have noticed something very interesting. So I'm gonna act like nobody's here. Let's go. So wake up, man. Y'all are fools, bro. But anyhow, I got something real good. Hopefully, y'all can understand exactly where I'm coming from because the picture that I have up is not irrelevant. I know you guys do think it's irrelevant, the enemies that are watching, but these are facts right here. These are facts right here. The righteous seed. And you haters aren't gonna get this, so it's okay. So I'm gonna remind you once again. We've been here before, family. Been here before, man. We've been here before. But that's not the point today. Let's go to Matthew 13, verse 47. No, what? Matthew 13, verse 47, bro. Are you sure? Because there's no 47 here. All right, let's begin. The parable of the net. In case you guys, as a matter of fact, let me read it this way. Maybe you guys will finally get it. It says here, also, Matthew 13:47. Also, the kingdom of heaven is like this. Some fishermen throw their net onto the lake and catch all kinds of fish. When the net is full, they pull it to the shore and sit down to divide the fish. The good ones go into the buckets. The worthless ones are thrown away. Now, we understand that there's all kinds of fish you can possibly net. Okay? So we know that very clearly. So now that you understand where this is going, let's read it now. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a net that was casted into the sea, and gathereth of every kind, which when it was full, they drew to shore, and that sat down and gathered good into vessels, but cast the bad ones away. So shall it be at the end of the world. The angels shall come forth and sever the wicked from amongst the just. So, like I said it before, somebody is lying about the scriptures. Somebody is lying. I can't guarantee y'all that I'm the one that's lying, nor can I guarantee you that I'm the one that's not lying. Nobody can guarantee you that. Do you guys understand what that means? You have to discern these things. But guess what? That's why you also cannot be tricked by seeing multiple netted fish in a particular bucket, and then that determines that that's where you're going to go to then believe. That's not how it works here. Okay? Many, many people believe in a God, in case you guys don't know that. But not everybody is called upon or of the seed of the Most High. I need you to remember that that's something that, I mean, it's in front of our face. It's in front of, what's happened? Oh, great. It's in front of our face. We have Catholicism, or if you want to generalize it, Christianity. We have Islam. We have Judaism. We have Buddhism. We have Zoroastrianism, Sikh, Mishnah, Krishna. We have all of that. Now, some are, obviously, most. But every one of these may be caught in this so-called net. It says, "So shall it be at the end of the world. The angels shall come forth and sever the wicked from among the just." So, that word right there, the just. We may touch on that a while. We're gonna touch on it, but I'm not gonna say it often. You better catch it. "And shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth." Now, if you guys have ever suffered addiction and you've ever gone through like a binge, so to speak, right? And you went real hard on a binge. Let's say, like I used to deal with alcoholism, and like go hard on it, right? And that those days that you're trying to recover, and this is also happens to people with like other addictions, like heavier drugs, I should say. The days that you're going through recovery, you're wailing and gnashing at the teeth, man. That feeling like, oh, you're so disgusted. You can't even be in your own skin. That's a very minimal feeling in comparison to what this feeling is gonna be like. Like being burned and someone touching your burning or putting lemon on it or salt, and you can't scratch it because it hurts more. So you're like, makes you want to piss almost. This is going to happen. So for you that get confused because, well, I don't know what to believe. I mean, I see these other people, man. There's so many people. Like, they question us. We don't see many of you guys believing. Yeah, this is not a boastful growth. The scriptures talk about, matter of fact, even the prophets themselves walked alone. Matthew 13:51. Jesus, I'm sorry, let me see this. Let me just say it real quick. The way that I'm going to pronounce it from now on, I'm going to do my best to remember because I am getting away from this title here. Okay. Now, from what I'm learning, because I used it every now and then. I just wasn't really, I don't want to say uncomfortable or comfortable with it, like Yahweh. But I did use it because that was my understanding. However, I have found in several books the name spelled differently, but pronounced Yahoo. And I always wondered, Yahoo. Now, if you see the name of Yahoo, you see it in Yahuda. Yahoo, or whatever it may be, right? But they ignore these things. Then lately, I've been paying attention to some Paleo Hebrew. Brother's been introducing some things, and I listen, and I'm like, you know what? He's got something going on. Yahoo. So the Father, from what I understand, is a name that was not used. They stopped using this name a long time ago. Now, the way it's spelled in this book that I read, and I'm not going to share it today because I'm working on it still. I'm reading it, but it's spelled Yahu. But they stopped using that name. Now, this brother started showing Iauh. So the Father's name is Yahoo, and the Son is named Yahushua. So Yahushua said unto them, have ye understood all these things? They say unto him, yea, Lord. Then said he unto them, therefore every scribe which is instructed unto the kingdom of heaven, meaning those that have some understanding, right? Those that are so-called showing other brothers and sisters particular things like history or scriptures, right? If you believe you are a instructor, then you first needed to be instructed. So if you believe you are to be an instructor, this is what you're supposed to do. Every scribe which is instructed unto the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder. Somebody, if you've owned a home, you understand what that feeling is like. You are completely responsible for that home. You're not renting. You're taking care of the land. You're taking care of everything that has to do with the property itself, for example, which bringeth forth out of his treasures things new and old. Things new and old, meaning if you are an instructor of the word, you're supposed to bring old and new, meaning giving us what may or what occurred and what may happen again and what happened and what is occurring again. Like Ecclesiastes 1:9. The things that have been are here again. Matter of fact, I didn't write that down because I do take my notes, but I'm going to read it right now. It says here, Ecclesiastes 1:9, the things that have been, the things of old and new, okay, that it is that which shall be. And that which is done, it is that which shall be done. And there's nothing new under the sun. So there's nothing new for anybody to bring you and say, oh my God, this guy's, Nostradamus. No. This was already forthcoming. And if you're an instructor of the word given by Yahushua, okay, Glenn, I cleared that up again. I just explained it. If you understand it, if he gives you that instruction, then you are supposed to bring things of new and things of old out of your household. Like, listen, man, here's what I got. Look what I found. Check this out. Bam. Look what I found in the scriptures. Bam. Hey, did you ever know that? Bam. Oh, by the way, this happened before, and look what I keep seeing that may occur again. Bam. That's why we are told to teach new things and old things hidden in plain sight as well. Or that's never been even shown to y'all before. Look, I've showed you this. I'm not talking about this topic today, but I gave you guys Habakkuk 1:5. Nobody believed me. Almost 2 years ago, I brought this out. No one brought this out, fam. And everybody just walked over it until all of a sudden they start seeing like, oh, schmoly, you're right. It does say that. Yes, it does say this. This was said in 711 AD. Yes, that certain people were going to come like leopards on horses, fiercer than wolves, in a sheepfold at night. Yes, that's why verse 5 says, man, you're going to be amazed when I share with you what you're going to find, but you ain't going to believe it either. So many of y'all don't believe just yet. Maybe you do. I don't know. I'm not here to determine that. Shoot, man, listen, I'm doing this work. Sorry to be selfish, but I'm doing it for myself first and foremost. I'm putting in my break first. Lord willing, man. Y'all follow and discern what I share. And maybe you know something I don't, and share that to us. Luke 16:1. And he said unto his disciples, there was a certain rich man. Now listen to this, family. Again, the net is very wide. The net is huge, right? There are going to be many fish that are going to be caught. Matthew 13. Let's go back real quick. I don't want y'all to lose it. Matthew 13 said, again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a net, that was cast into the sea and gather every kind. Yeah, that's gonna happen. That's obvious. You know what I'm saying? We see it. That's why when people say, "Oh, I don't see," I see the so-called African Americans waking up. You ain't waking up. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, like the scripture said, many fish are gonna be caught in a net. But listen, those same fisher were also people of position of power. Remember, the scripture says that the Most High gives you power and takes it away. The Most High gives you powers and takes it away. The Most High puts kings and he moves kings. The Most High does all those things, right? First, it was Egypt. Then it was Persia Mede. Then the Greeks, then the Romans. And now we see who it is today, Babylon, right? We see it now. The Most High allows these things to happen. So let's begin with that understanding now, what this means. And he said also unto his disciples, there was a certain rich man which had a steward. The steward is them, family. This steward was given a position to rule the world at his almost pleasure. The Most High gave you this power. It wasn't you. Make that clear. It wasn't eugenics. You know damn well that those are lies. There's no such thing as a mixed seed family. Forget those lies. Because even dumb Christians would laugh at them, would throw up in their own, I don't want to say it, but because guess what? Christians love to say they're all about the Bible, right? They say it's about the Bible. Okay, Mr. Super Christians, then explain this to me here. They go by the pedigree of the Father. Here, I'll do it in your translation, because apparently, you're as worse at Ebonics. You're as worse as them. Seriously. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Listen to this, okay? It says, Numbers 1:18, call together the whole community on the first day of the second month, which is the new moon, by the way, and register all the people by clans and families. The names of all the men, hold on a second, by clans and families. You see? It tricks you here, right? Like, oh, I wonder why that translation came that way. But here on this one, it doesn't say that. It says here, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. They declared their pedigree after their families by the house of their fathers. There's no such thing as a damn mixed seed. There's no such thing as a stupid mamzer. There's no such thing as a half this, half that. No, you are of your father. You could be dark. You could be black. You could be white. Guess what? You'll be the total opposite of that. So that's why us so-called Hispanics, we never doubted that somebody that may look like me may not be me. Because guess what? We already knew that. You know how many years so-called, governors over there, or presidents in Mexico, Central and South America have been raping our own people? And we're like, man, why are you guys treating us like that? Or treating certain people like that, right? Why? Now we know why. Without understanding of the scriptures, we would never understand why. Because no matter what you look like, it's of the Father. Happy Christians or Merry Christmas, whichever ones you want to know. You that were put in charge, you that were given that servant position, you're steward, right? Let's check this out. There was a certain rich man which had a steward, and the same was accused unto him that he had wasted his goods. And he called unto him and said unto him, how is it that I hear this of thee? Give an account of thy stewardship, for thou mayest be no longer steward. Then the steward said to within himself, what shall I do? For my Lord take it away from me, the stewardship. I cannot dig to beg. I am ashamed. I am resolved what to do. Hold on, let me translate it this way so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And remember, Yahushua says to his disciples, the dishonest manager, remember this, who right now is in management position, who was given power to. Remember, the world is given into the hand of the what? The wicked. The wicked is the manager. And this man was given power. There was once a rich man who had a servant who managed his property. The rich man was told that the manager was wasting his master's money. So he called him in and said, what is this I hear about you? Isn't this what these so-called Christians are doing? Isn't this what they supposedly claim that they believe?
Supposedly, they say that they are righteous people and that God bless America. You're going to see videos. I'm going to show you how, oh, Jesus loves everybody. Yeah, now I'm calling him Jesus because that's the one that I'm following. Oh, God bless Jesus for my husband. Like insurrection times. We're going to touch on that too today. So these managers, right? These managers. What is this I hear about you? Turn in a complete account of your handling of my property. We're not your property. We're not a mixture of you so-called white people. Get that through your thick fucking head. Whoever told you that we're a mixture of so-called Europeans and so-called natives, basically is a dumbass. For one to teach it and one to believe it. Because you cannot be a so-called Christian believer if you believe in the scriptures and then walk over the first 5 books and the clearest one that says, follow them through the pedigree of their father. I've never seen a woman impregnate herself. The seed comes from the man. Very simple. No disrespect to my sisters. I love my wife and my daughters, but they hold the seed. That's it. Like, for example, the earth, she's the earth. We are the seed. So it's of the father. For example, a tree who is an apple tree will always have apple trees or apples. You won't have oranges. It doesn't work that way. However, let's go back to the property ownership here, because you cannot be my manager any longer. The servant said to himself, my master is going to dismiss me from my job. What shall I do? I am not strong enough to dig ditches. I am ashamed to beg. Let me tell you something, family. There was once a conversation that my daughter had with this particular kid of another nation, and that's exactly what he said. I don't want to be on the bottom. I just don't want to be on the bottom, he said. It was regarding the whole Trump shit, Now I know what I will do. Then when my job is gone, I shall have friends who will welcome me in their home. The point is this right here. The point is this of you servants, you people that have been put in positions. You know damn well that your own laws contradict what you guys supposedly believe in. I mean, it's very clear. So guess what? We're going to continue. I'll show you this real quick. Let me continue reading it. Matter of fact, let me go real quick. Let me go. It says, and now what would I, hold on. I was in verse 5. So he called in all the people who were in debt to his master. He asked first the one, how much do you owe my master? 100 barrels of olive oil. He answered, here's your account. So the manager told him, sit down, write 50. Then he's asked the other one, and you, how much do you owe him? 1,000 bushels of wheat, he answered. Here's your account. The manager told him, write 800. As a result, the master of this dishonest manager praised him for doing such a shrewd thing, because the people of this world are much more shrewd in handling their affairs than the people who ought to belong to the light. Do you guys understand what this means? Watch this here real quick. Where are you at? I had you here earlier. My fat family. Hold on a second. There you go, right there. Check this out. Psalms 49:10, it says, anyone can see that even the wise dies, as well as the foolish and stupid. They all leave their riches to their descendants. Their graves are their homes forever. There they stay for all the time, though they once had lands of their own. Our greatness cannot keep us from death. We will still die like animals. See what happens to those who trust in themselves, the fate of who are satisfied with their wealth. And this is exactly the whole concept that we talk about, the unworthy manager and also the unworthy servants, but specifically the unworthy manager. Because guess what? He started basing it off of what? Riches, things of value. Didn't even consider the fact that The rich man gave him the position to rule. That's why we see a lot of this foolishness right here. So check this out. You go back to this real quick. Matthew 7:24. Let me go real quick. Now, this is what's important, family, because like I said before, many are called, many fishes are going to be picked up, right? Many fishes are going to be picked up. And every single one of them is going to believe in their own way. There's only one way. I don't say one way, but there's a specific way. I'll say it like that. And it's not overnight. And it's not sometimes the most obvious path. It's technically sometimes the least obvious. That's why the class I did on, even the ravens feed you. That's why. However, this is what's important. Build your house on the rock. Matthew 7:24. It says, therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will make him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. So again, depending on how your foundation is, that's what's going to determine how stable you'll be, how stable you are, and how far you'll go into this. I always tell people that talk to me, what's your foundation? I know my foundation. I know what I need in order to reset myself, because I built it on a very strong foundation. I struggled. It wasn't easy. And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be like unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand. Now, like I said, when the ravens feed you, I was, I guess you could say, given the opportunity to learn the so-called quote unquote milk. When the ravens feed you, at that time, that was what was needed of me. Now, me, not them, me particularly, me, the way I handled it, the way the Most High allowed me or showed me how, because I didn't know any better. I took that milk, man, and I studied that for a solid 3 years, almost solid, nonstop, day after day after day after day. And I was reading, but I wasn't necessarily reading heavy chapters like Sirach or Wisdom of Solomon. I didn't start reading that until my 3rd year, because I don't know, man. I wanted to keep it simple, and it's the best thing that happened to me, because whenever I started falling apart, I'd go back to the milk, and I keep it basic, and I just go back and just read it again and study it and try to remember where it was, and go back and read the chapters of the milk, and then when I left these rooms, I saw the vast this wilderness of doctrines and shit, crazy, man, like BHI believe this and believe that, and Fopis and Signetters and Chemetics, and I'm like, what the hell, bro? This is worse. All I had left was just the milk. So what did I do? I just prayed and asked for the Father to watch over my steps, and I said, I'm gonna do what I've learned. I'm just gonna stay to the milk until the time comes. And then the Most High started revealing things to me. I started reading more, and then all of a sudden, I used what I learned, meaning in the way I studied. I took my study habits independently, and it became to this point. So again, it says here, everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be like unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand, like oso chicloso. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall. And you want to know why? That's BHI. Don't tell me it ain't true. You guys cannot go back now, because you don't know where to turn. You don't know how to unbelieve these things. You're so stuck on that. You have given yourself over to the whole idea that, nah, they must be right. They must be right. Why? Just for a second, think for a second. Could they be wrong? What if they're wrong? Like I said it, somebody's wrong. Somebody is wrong, family. And one of us is wrong. Whoever's out here teaching, whoever's wrong and whoever's right, first of all, that's, man, glory to that. But whoever's wrong, y'all going to pay. Now, if I'm wrong, guess what? I'm going to pay. And I'm going to tell you this, family. When I say, man, one of us is wrong, and I don't really feel like I'm wrong, fam. I fear the Most High, man. I don't think I'm wrong. Because I'm not trying to, like, force any of this information. I'm not trying to, like, cut pieces of books and show you guys these things. Like, they're literally right there. They're literally right there. Like, I'm not even trying to find some of this stuff, man. Like, for example, and then in one of my books that, like, I'm doing, like, for the whole, because I'm really working on the scattering part, right? So I got some notes going on because I got a bunch of different classes to start with. So I got some notes on this class, and I found this book. Oh shit! Let's just put it this way: it relates to the Moors and it relates to West Africans, man. Oh man! And I'm like, I showed my wife. I go, I'm telling you, babe. She's like, wow. It just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. So I'm not twisting these things. Ezekiel 13:6. They have seen vanity and lying divinations, saying, the Lord saith, and the Lord hath not sent them. How many of them do we not see today? Black Jesus, white Jesus, IOIC, BHIs, all of that stuff, Christianity. Show me how this is any different. Let me see if I can find it. Show me if this is any different, family. How is this any different? Look at this right here. Look at this. Look at this shit right here, fam. What in the world is this? How is this not Christianity? Is it? Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Damn. Wow.
Isaiah chapter 50.
You know what that's from? Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Because I have a class on that too. Shut. Hold on a second. Oh, this one right here. Okay. Check this out. I find it very ironic. Hold on a second. Where is it at? No, man. Come on. Hurry up. 9. What is it called? Hold on. Let me minimize this dude's face. I don't want to just have you guys stare at him. Probably end up give you guys some we call it where are you at? What is that? Okay, hold on a second. Let me see the name. I'm trying to look for a brother of ours. He posted this on Facebook, and it was very interesting. It's a 9 candlestick name. I don't know if you guys know it. It's called the Shasha or something, Sha'ash or something like that. If you guys can maybe post the name. Give me a second here. It's the name is very interesting because it actually is. Hold on. Oh, that's right. Here it goes right here. Okay, so check this out. Check this out. All right, so I'm going to show you this real quick. Okay, check this out, fam. All right, so I put in here the shamash candle, right? Candlesticks. So it's the ones that has 9 on them. All right, so it has 9 on them. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Now here's the interesting part. If you take away this name here and you go like this, Now you got yourself something even more interesting. Right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, whatever, however you want to call it. This is the god of Shamash. That's what you get the whole concept of the star. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't believe that. Whoever brothers, whoever do, whoever does, I'm just letting you know you better really, really look into that. But this right here, it's like, bro, for real, for real, for real, bro, for real, like for real, man. And then we all know about this. What is this concept right here? This right here, the image of holding two worlds. Like, we know how far that goes. But you know what? Y'all don't care. Nah, man, y'all don't care, bro. You guys are good with this. It's okay. I don't give a shit. And they have seen vanity and lying divination, saying, "The Lord saith," and the Lord hath not sent them. They have made others to hope that they would confirm the word. Have ye not seen a vain vision? Have ye not spoken a lying divination? Whereas ye say, "The Lord saith," albeit I have not spoken, where I have not spoken. So, for example, we've seen the white image. Now we get the black one. First, they said you got to look white to be right. Then they said you got to be black. I don't know. I don't know how to rhyme that word now. But just if you think about it, the white man said, "Oh, well, this is what Jesus looks like." Black man said, "This is what Yahushua looks like." Now, now if you are of so-called a chosen seed, then you look like Israelis, and they look white, right? Oh, well, technically, if you look black, then you're original, because he was original. It's all vain, man. It's very in front of us. Therefore, let me just finish. Therefore, thus say the Lord God, or I should say, thus say the Lord Yahoo, because ye have spoken vanity and seen lies. Therefore, behold, I am against you, say Lord Yahoo. I should say God for now. And my hand shall be upon the prophet that see vanity and that divine lies. They shall not be in the assembly of my people, neither shall they be written in the writings of the house of, well, I'll just say Israel for now. Neither shall they enter into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Lord God. Because, hold on a second. What the hell's going on with these TV stuff, man? What the hell? Bro, see, I can see that, really interesting stuff is going on around here. But it's cool, man. It's cool. I don't lose track of things. I know where I'm at. Anyways, let me see. Let's see. Okay, let me go here. Because they have seduced my people, saying peace, and there was no peace. For example, what has, I mean, me coming up, and I remember in Christianity, well, I was not really in Christianity to say, but you see these things that happen, all of the stuff that our gente goes around or, deals with. And, I no one ever could explain that to me. Like, man, why does this have to happen to us? Oh, well, it's God. Why does well, because, it's God. Oh, it was bad. But yet, rich people are worse. No one can answer these things. Peace, and there be no peace. And one built up a wall, and lo, others dubbed it an attempted murder. Aren't the walls around now? No, it's we're not trying to be racist. We're just trying to keep illegals away from our country. Say unto them which dub it with untempered mortar, that it shall fall. There shall be an overwhelming shower, and ye, all great hailstones, shall fall. And a stormy wind shall rend it. Lo, when the wall is fallen, shall it not be said unto you, where is the dubbing where ye have dubbed it? Meaning, this whole fake appearance about you, this whole fake management of your so-called powerful, loving government of God, this such great so-called nation of people that supposedly came and civilized us. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, I will even rend it with a stormy wind in my fury, because you built this on sand. You built it on the false notion that the doctrine of discovery was meant as a righteous thing to do, to rape, rob, and murder our people. To then have another nation go and lie and say that none of these things happened to you, but it only happened to us. Yes. So will I break down the wall that ye have dubbed with untempered mortar. So all of these appearances, this society, this so-called unblemished, woman of America, of their people, of the lies, all of that is dubbed. That's what they use, dub. Like here, let's look up the word, just so you guys can see. Hold on a second. All right. It says coat, smear with a thick or sticky substance as carelessness, rough or liberal way. Like let's say you're patching a hole on the wall. You're just patching a hole in the wall. That's it. You don't sand it down. You don't paint it. You just patch it with the little, like the putty, the little putty thing. You know what I'm saying? So will I break down the wall that ye have dubbed with untempered mortar, and bring down to the ground, so that the foundation thereof shall be discovered? And this is what we are finding out. That's why I said, our gente, man. And when I mean us, our people, I'm not just meaning like Mexicans, so-called, man. I'm talking about all of us here. Mexicas, Taínos, everybody in this bloodline. Okay? I'm using so-called Mexico or Mexicas as a representation as one nation, because I'm looking at it as a nation, not a land. And I'm sorry, I'm just gonna show you, because our gente is right now becoming united, man, and we're the ones leading the forefront on protect your gente. And we're not just doing it with guns and shit. Now we're using scripture and actual history and facts, and not just talk, and not some political jargon. No, these are real ways. Because guess what? To this very moment, look, I'm still waiting for the first so-called individual that wants to come here and debate and say I am 100% wrong.
A ver, que alguien me explique.
I'm still waiting. And bring it down to the ground, so that the foundations thereof shall be discovered. It shall fall, and ye shall be consumed in the midst thereof, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. Thus will I accomplish my wrath upon the wall, and upon them that have dubbed it with untempered mortar. So all of you that put that hand in that plow to create this doctrine of devils, you that are still in those camps, believing this BS, that you came from the private parts of African, dude, and that's why you look like a so-called Hispanic, you're stupid. You are dumb. You give your ancestry absolutely no love, man. No love. You really think that you're light skinned because you mix with a native or a Spaniard, you dumbass? We've been light skinned here from the get-go. Dark and light skin. Thin lips, thick lips. Man, bro. But no. Keep believing the wobbles. Thus will I accomplish my wrath. Thus will I accomplish my wrath upon the wall, and upon them that have dubbed it with untempered mortar, meaning fake shit. Wobbles. Fake shit. BHIs. Christianity. White Jesus, black Jesus, all of that stupid shit, every single one of them. Because you know what? My problem isn't even with Islam or any other religions, because guess what? They're not bringing over here pretending and trying to convert us. No, man. Only you who wants to fall for that will fall for that. These are the ones that are pushing it hardcore. And I will say unto you, the wall is no more, neither they that dubbed it. Neither they that dubbed it. Now, guess what? Those walls that you also get torn down, it ain't just us ourselves. Remember, the whole Trojan thing?
Who
Remember the whole
hides
Trojan thing? Tell you something, family. They do it themselves, man. This whole thing about anniversary, a lot of talk is going on about this, right? Check it out, man. I find this interesting.
who hides evidence? Criminals hide evidence, not honest people.
Listen to how this guy incites the crowd, okay? I'm going to tell you how he does it. Watch this, okay? Listen to this, okay?
Who hides evidence?
First point, we're talking about planting a seed thought of, oh, somebody's lying to you. Somebody has documents about something that they're doing, okay? Remember this.
Criminals hide evidence.
Oh, so now those people that are hiding the truth, that are lying to you, okay? They're criminals. So should they really be respected by the law if they're not respecting the law, technically? Remember, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh, family. Words are powerful. Continue.
Not honest people. So, over the next 10 days, we get to see the machines that are crooked, the ballots that are fraudulent, and if we're wrong.
So now he created the thought of they're criminals, they have something that they're hiding, and we're going to see it for the next 10 days, okay, what they're hiding, okay? Remember, he's gearing the crowd up.
We will be made fools of. But if we're right, a lot of them will go to jail. So, let's have trial by combat.
All of us here today do
Listen,
not.
family, I'm telling you right now. So I was trying to fix something. I couldn't fix the sound. My bad. When you consider what we're seeing, this dubbed wall that was not properly mortared, we see now how within themselves they're destroying that dubbed wall. This so-called belief in government and God loves America, they have no trust in their own system anymore. I'm gonna tell you this, man. These nations, these so-called Americans, let me just say this. White Europeans and black Europeans, okay? You guys have an American experience. You are not Americans. You are not of the Americas. You have an American experience. You are of Europe. You are of Africa. Get that through your blonde and black hair, okay? Let's get that clear first. Because if you want to call, if you really want to, spade a spade, we'll call it spade a spade. We'll call it spade a spade. So, once again, the dubbed wall is falling, meaning your fake doctrines, your fake Christianity, your God loves America, your eugenics, your total you guys are a mixture, your so-called categorizing people, or that we were just a bunch of Indians and we didn't know any better. No. As a matter of fact, also we know more about y'all than you guys know about us now. Let's continue.
Not want to see our election victory stolen by emboldened radical left Democrats, which is what they're doing, and stolen by the fake news media. That's what they've done and what they're doing. We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved. Our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore, and that's what this is all about. And to use a favorite term that all of you people really came up with, we will stop the steal. We have come to demand that Congress do the right thing and only count the electors who have been lawfully slated. Lawfully slated. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. Today we will see whether Republicans stand strong for integrity of our elections, but whether or not they stand strong for our country. Our country. Our country has been under siege for a long time.
We are gathered at a time when democracy is in crisis. Recent polling shows that 39% of Americans believe the election that just occurred, quote, was rigged.
Thus I will accomplish my wrath upon the wall. Ezekiel 13:5. And upon them that have dubbed it with untempered mortar. Here, I'll do it like this. The wall and those who covered it with whitewash. Damn. Woo, I love that. Gotcha, bitch. Those who covered it with whitewash. You whitewashed this whole history. You even made us think that we were a mixture of you. And then the Negro comes over and says that we're a mixture of him. And then we come to find out when we look at clarity, it's like, wait, what is all this fog? And I start kind of wiping down the fog, using a fan and shit. I start seeing something very similar about certain people. These three nations that are working against us specifically, right? This one's very obvious. But these other two, they keep repeating themselves as if they're the ones that suffered. Feel bad for me, please. And now society feels bad for them. Khazars and Wobbles. I'll call y'all Wobbles for now. Every one of y'all. Khazars and Wobbles. Wannabes. You know what I'm saying? Empathy, please, please, please. Movie after movie. Reminder after reminder. Now everybody feels bad for them. Oh, oppression is so horrible. Holocaust movies constantly. Slavery movies all the time. But not about you, so-called Hispanics. Yet we're the ones that have been battling walls after walls after walls after walls. And you guys know what I'm talking about by walls. But now we're trying to see that verse 14, I intend to break down the wall. They whitewashed, meaning your freaking lies, man. Your lies. To shatter it. To shatter it. And to leave it. And to leave the foundation stones bare. It will collapse and kill you all. Thus saith the Lord. Then, everyone will know that I am the Lord. You think this is a joke? Verse 13, I'm going backwards. Now, this is what the sovereign Lord saith. In my anger, I will send a strong wind. People. The word. Pouring rain. The word. He that believeth on me, as the scriptures have said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. And hailstones to destroy the wall. You know what these are? These are three things. Wind, rain, and hailstorm. Wind, rain, and hailstorm. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to study that one a bit. Let me put it away for now. It says, I intend to break down the wall. You see this? You see what I'm saying? Now, what's one example? One example is, first of all, you shake the tree a bit.
You may not agree with that assessment, but it is nonetheless a reality for nearly half the country.
Madam Speaker, I have constituents outside this building right now. I promised my voters to be their voice. In this branch of government, which I now serve, it is my separate but equal obligation to weigh in on this election and object. Are we not a government of, by, and for the people? They know that this election is not right, and as their representative, I am sent here to represent them. I will not allow the people to be ignored. Madam Speaker, it is my duty under the U.S. Constitution to object.
Shut up. Sorry, can't stand that girl. Not very smart either. Yeah, I said it. So what? She's not very smart. What you want me to tell you? And I'll prove it too, by the way. Okay? I can prove all. Okay, so this is what they're arguing about. So now we got this hater over here, Vivek, whatever. He likes to so-called bring truth, but he doesn't tell you that about 100,000 of his own so-called people are sneaking into this country illegally through the border. Well, but he doesn't want to say that. Okay, I'm just saying. Hey, spade is spade. So anyhow, now they're arguing. Now he's arguing with some Kotler girl, like, so-called what do you call it, Republican. They're all fighting amongst themselves, family. Like I said, man. I'm sorry, like the scripture said, the wall that was dubbed. Let's continue.
What? No! Peacefully. Fed. Tomorrow, I don't even like to say it because I'll be arrested. Well, let's not say it. We need to go. I'll say it. All right. We need to go in.
Shut the fuck up, Boomer.
To the Capitol. Base Fed posting? All right. We need to go into the Capitol. I didn't see that coming. Okay.
Monument Hill.
Stop speaking. We are going to the Capitol, where our problems are. It's that direction. Please spread the word. All right, noted, but one more thing.
Yeah, so can we go up there? No?
When we go in,
are we going to get arrested if we go up there?
You don't need to get shot.
Arrest us all?
It's nuts, man. Oh, what can I tell you, man?
It's been exactly 3 years since the siege of the U.S. Capitol.
Hey, shut up. I'm going to show you this real quick.
Hi, I'm Dawn, and I run a company called...
Jesus. Shut up, Dawn. No, I'm just kidding, fam. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me see if it's this one here. All right, so it starts right here. I mean, this is not important. I mean, let's get to the point where... There it goes right there. All right, so check this out. This is interesting. And we'll move on.
An opinion of that.
She said it outside the court that day.
Did. Yeah, she
said
did.
it powerfully that this is Trump.
Trump deserves life in prison if my father's in prison for this long.
That was how she feels. And I respect her feelings on that.
It's not how you feel.
It is not how I feel.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol.
Yet Donald Trump is scheduled to stand trial for events related to January 6th as early as this spring at the same federal courthouse.
Well, he's a Jan 6er. He's an official Jan 6er.
And on the 2024 campaign trail, Trump continues to stoke the fires of January 6th.
I don't call them prisoners, I call them hostages.
Republicans in Congress have echoed his claims.
All you hear about is a 3-hour riot on one single day, January 6, 2021.
Some toured the jail last year and met with riot defendants or dropped by to join that nightly vigil outside. House Speaker Mike Johnson announced plans in November to post 44,000 hours of January 6 surveillance video.
House Republicans trust the American people to draw their own conclusions.
We relive it every single day.
You know, I was watching some of those videos, man. I don't know, if they're breaking in. I don't know, man. I wondered, because I was watching the videos, I wondered what if they would have gone all the way back in there, man? Like, would they have done something to them? That's the question. Would they have? There is such a thing as the law of intent. You know, it's very obvious that they had an intent. You were spraying the cops. You were punching them. You were throwing chairs at them. I mean, that guy, I don't know if that guy went to jail, but he's telling people we're going to go in the building. Anyhow, Amos 5:15 says, hate what is evil, love what is right, and see that justice prevaileth in courts. Perhaps the Lord will be merciful to the people of this nation who are still alive. That's an important thing to show. Okay? So now, let's move on to something. I want to show you this real quick. Okay? Let's see this real quick. We're going to move on, and then we're almost done. Well, I got probably another 30 after this. Maybe a little more. All right? A little more. I always say that, but no, just keep going. Shut up, man. All right, so I want to remind this individual here. Again, family. The righteous seed, man. The righteous seed, family. I showed you this video the other day, and I told you I was going to touch on it.
Or a trans.
So my argument isn't about so-called trans, that whatever y'all do, you do. I'm talking about the argument and what this idiot here on the left, yes, this idiot from West Africa, what she said, okay? Because I'm going to remind them, I'm going to remind you, when you go and push lies, I will embarrass you. And then I'm going to remind you, if you're suggesting the same things, not to believe people like that, then let's look back at your people and how current it is. So why the hell should you even have a mic in your hand or even be in politics if your people are still doing this to this very day?
Now be considered LGBTQ or trans people in the native languages. So I'd like to know how, as these people have existed for, and I'm just wondering why you think it is that trans people are only here now because the media is telling people these things.
Well, do you think it's weird that I graduated with 0 trans people? What do you think has contributed to the explosion of transgender people from the time that I was in high school? I'll ask you a question back. If this was just a natural thing, and I don't know what you're talking about with two-spirit people, is this like a Native American tribe, like high smoking and...
Native American tribe, high smoking. Who suffered in the black epidemic? I mean, the crack epidemic. Who was the high smokers? Let's continue. Oh, and by the way, I really laugh at you Christians that say that are anti-trans and gay. And yeah, it is against the scriptures, clearly. But you guys have the nerve to be criticizing them. You know how you avoid these things? Stop divorcing. America has like a 60% divorce rate. Shut your asses up, man. Y'all are hypocrites, man. Why don't you stay married first? And then go around telling people not to do all these other damn things. You guys are hypocrites, man. And dumb.
Like high smoking and talking about your spirit. I'm asking you seriously, because when I think of Native American tribes talking about their spirits, I know that they used to smoke a lot. They used to do drugs. They also were cannibals who used to...
See that right there? All right, so we were drug addicts, and then we were cannibals. So we eat ourselves. Okay, cool.
They used to do drugs. They also were cannibals who used to eat people. So I don't know if we should be taking our cues from cannibals.
So I don't know if you should be listening to cannibals. Like, you see, family, you see how they see you as savages. Even this West African one here, civilized West African, so-called American, West African with an experience of America. Funny how they come here and somehow suit up a little better, huh? Listen to this again.
A lot. They used to do drugs. They also were cannibals who used to eat people. So I don't know if we should be taking our cues from cannibals. But I think can you explain to me what two-spirit is in the history?
There are people that would now be considered trans people that did not feel that they fit
what part, though? Gender. Native Americans? I'm asking you.
Yes, I'm telling you that not only in one Native American tribe, but in multiple tribes, there were dozens of terms that referred to people that would now be considered trans, and that was hundreds of years ago. So I'm just wondering.
It's so interesting that you got a gringa over here talking about her, and you know damn well she's not. And you got this other one over here, West African, talking shit. And yet I'm going to embarrass you. Let's go.
Why you think that people are only trans now because the media is telling them to be?
Well, I told you, because of the proliferation. So you can't just go from having 0% to suddenly 25% of people.
What I'm saying is that these people were around for thousands of years.
Well, what you're saying is that some Native American tribes had people that would be considered trans today, something that we can't fact check because they're dead, right?
Now, all Native Americans are dead. All right. So she says, why should we listen to people that have a history of doing drugs and being cannibalists, right? That's what she said. She said it's a people with a history that are cannibals and then they use drugs, right? Am I mistaken? I'm just trying to figure out, unless you think I'm wrong. I mean, anybody here? Are you guys just frenemies here and shit or what, man? Hey, shalom, by the way, WTC. What's up, Masha? Roden. Juan Mo, presenter. All will be revealed, bro. Thank you. I read it late. Anyhow, so she says that we're drug addicts and that we eat humans. Right? That's what she said. And because of that history, that why should we take cues from those type of people? Right? Okay. She's African, correct? Last time I checked. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. So let's consider. This is from 6 days ago. Okay. Not that long ago. And it says drug mix with human bones ravaging Sierra Leone. Excuse me? Oh, you want me to take once again, family, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. So if you want me to take your so-called, if you're an Ivy League student, Candace, and supposedly people look up to you. So based on your logic, I'm gonna use your logic, okay? So based on your logic, then I shouldn't be listening to your black ass. That's what I'm saying. Based on your logic, I shouldn't be listening to your black ass. Because based on your history, why would I take cues from people that love to smoke and then smoke dead bones?
In Sierra Leone, a new drug is turning young people into zombies.
Take a look at the youth on the street, they are twap. They work only to buy the works, nothing else, trust me.
They call it Kush, dried leaves mixed with a cocktail of chemicals.
Kush,
In just
like
3
Kush.
years, it's taken over.
Kush take you to another world where you don't know yourself.
Say na something we mix with demonic something. You see company die, then still the taker.
As the impact of Africa's worst drug epidemic deepens, disturbing reports have emerged about the newest ingredient, human bones.
So the coffin and everything is there, but they just took the bones. Yeah.
Freetown, home to 1 million people. It's a vibrant trade.
Now, family, I'm not condoning to put deep people down because they have this unfortunate lifestyle. I'm using her logic. You see how stupid her logic is, family. So if I use her logic, then I'm going to say, well, those people look like you. They do drugs and they smoke bones of people. So if I take your advice, so then I shouldn't take advice from you because that's your heritage, just like Native is my heritage. However, why is it that when we say it, it's racist? What she said was racist as hell. But you guys don't give a shit, do you? Like, for example, there's only a few of you watching the whole time. Hopefully somebody watches this. Hopefully y'all care enough to even watch these classes, man. Hopefully you guys care, man. Because eventually they're going to shut down this channel. I'm getting signs. Let's put it that way, family. You guys get it, you get it. You don't, you don't. You're going to miss all these videos, bro. Let's go.
Trading hub famous for its beaches. But below the surface, the city is suffering. An economic crisis is pushing people into poverty. Now, he lives at the city's rubbish tip, along with more than 1,000 others.
All I'm asking, Lord, is for you to give me a second chance. Let me prove to my family I'm not lost totally. I can still be who I want to be. I can still go to college. I can still do music and win the Grammy.
Apparently, family, which I don't want to get too much into this, but apparently they mixed some drug with the bones. And the bones
For the recent
release a type of sulfur. And the sulfur, excuse me, it also creates a certain high. Now you guys know that sulfur is pretty heavy. You guys know sulfur is it's like evil stuff, right? This is from a book called Old Virginia and Her Neighbors, written in 1900, written about the first people that came here. Okay. Old Virginia and her neighbors. Jamestown. It's talking about Jamestown. Okay. Let me start in page 150. The end of his stay in Virginia was, however, approaching. He was determined to find some better site for a colony than low, marshy Jamestown. So in September, hold on a second. Let me do it like this. These pants up. It says, in September, he sailed up to the Indian village called Powhatan and bought of the natives a tract of land in that neighborhood near to where Richmond now stands, a range of hills, salubrious and defensible, with so fair a landscape that Smith called the place Nunchuch. On the way back to Jamestown, a bag of gunpowder in his boat exploded and wounded him so badly that he was completely disabled. The case demanded such surgery as the wilderness could not furnish, and as the ships were sailing for England early in October, he went in one of them. He seems to have welcomed this opportunity of answering sundry charges brought against him by Ratcliffe faction. Some flying squirrels were sent home to amuse King James. You guys remember King James, okay? Now, the arrival of the ships in England, with news of the disappearance of the Sea Venture and the dangers of anarchy in Virginia, alarmed Lord Delaware, and he resolved to go as soon as possible and take command of his colony. About the 1st of April, he set sail with about 150 persons, mostly mechanics. He had need to make all haste. Jamestown had become a pandemonium. Smith left George Percy in command, but that excellent gentleman was in poor health and unable to exert much authority. Watch this. There were now 500 mouths to be filled, and the stores of food diminished with portentous rapidity. The unruly gallants got in trouble with the Indians, who soon responded after their manner, meaning fighting. They slaughtered the settlers' hogs for their own benefit, and they murdered the settlers themselves when opportunity was offered. Remember, they sold land to these people, okay? Or our brothers sold land to them. So something got in trouble. Something like, hey, you're not supposed to be in these territories, man. What the hell are you doing? So let's continue. But of course, they're not going to see it that way because, we're the savages. We're the smokers, right? We're the cannibalists. Okay, check this out. The worthless Ratcliffe and 30 of his men were slain at one fell swoop while they were at the Pamunsky village trading with the Powhatan. As the frost and snow came, more shelters were needed than the cabins already built could furnish. Many died of the cold. The approach of spring saw the last supplies of food consumed, and famine began to claim its victims. Soon there came to be more houses than occupants, and as fast as one was emptied by death, it was torn down for firewood. Even palisades were stripped from their framework and thrown into the blaze for cold was a near foe than the red man. You see that? Cold winter was more closer to the enemy than us. They called us the red man. The latter watched the course of events with savage glees, and now and then, lurking in the neighborhood, shot flights of arrows tipped with death. A gang of men stole one of the pinnaces, armed her heavily, and ran out to sea to help themselves with piracy. After the last basket of corn had been devoured, people lived for a while on roots and herbs, after which they had recourse to cannibalism. Hold on a second. People, let me read this again. Candace, are you listening, Candace Owens? Hey, Republicans. Hey, Mr. So-called great people of America. People lived for a while on roots and herbs, after which after they had recourse to cannibalism. The corpse of a slain Indian was boiled and eaten. What the? Okay, hold on a second, Candace. This is cannibalism. So now you said that we were cannibalists, and you said that we do drugs. So you said, based on that logic, I shouldn't believe you. So then these so-called white people, now they're cannibalists too. Now I know that there was black and white people here. So then, whichever way you want to ride, you and your husband were cannibalists to this very day. Check this out. The starving company began cooking their own dead. One man killed his wife and salted her and had eaten a considerable part of her body before he was found out. This was too much for people to endure. The man was tied up to a stake and burned alive. They probably ate him too, by the way. Such were the goings in and out that awful time, to which men long afterwards allude as the starving time. No wonder that one poor wretched crazed his agony, cast his Bible into the fire, crying, alas, there is no God. Funny as it may, isn't it so funny, family? Isn't it so funny that this seems to be something that these so-called Ivy League students somehow ignore? This is a true story. The starving time. Look it up. Was the winter of 1609 through 1610. That's why they say, oh, black people were first brought in 1619. No, 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 no. Shut up. You guys were part of it too. Yeah, you guys were part of it. You guys were eating people too. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Check this out. Starvation weakened the colonists and led to sickness such as dysentery and typhoid. The colonists ate shoe leathers and butchered 7 horses brought from England the summer before ill fate plead. Percy wrote, then having fed upon the horses and other beasts as long as they lasted, we were glad to make shift with vermin as dogs, cats, and mice. There were charges of cannibalism. Starving settlers dug up dead corpse out of the graves. Oh, God. To eat them. Others licked up the blood which had fallen from their weak fellows. Fuck, man. Y'all are nasty. And you want me to take your logic? Based on your logic, we shouldn't be listening to these white and black people. Jamestown, their rediscovery archaeologists in 2012 uncovered the first forensic evidence of survival cannibalism in Europe, colonies in North America. So who is the true cannibals? Oh, but that's not all. That is not all. You guys think I'm done? No, man. I'm almost done. I got this to share you too. Check this out. Okay. Oh, that's why I keep saying, man, y'all are the righteous seed family. You see this book called The Puritans, New England? Okay. Let's go to, matter of fact, let's start here. I'm just gonna read kind of quick, but then we can cover some things, okay? Watch this real quick. Page 190. These cases introduce important principles illustrating Negro legal rights. A Negro's word was admissible as evidence, and his testimony could be acceptable as that of whites. Charges against Negroes had to be documented, and they received the thoughtful consideration of juries and magistrates. Negroes had police protection and were shielded from extra legal practices that would have denied them due process of law. What? They could appeal, use legal counsel, receive gubernatorial pardons. The principles operatives in the case described above were applicable more than when more abhorrent crimes were committed. Negroes were given the same judicial treatment as whites in all aspects of the case, from indictments to punishment. Yet you want reparations. Yet you said the white man enslaved you. Yet you said the white man is not your brother. Meaning that you guys never knew each other. Some crimes like burglary are impossible to analyze. Are impossible to analyze, for penalties were distributed on the basis of kinds and amounts of items stolen. We were unable to find cases in which Negroes and whites appropriated exactly the same things. For this reason, we have not attempted comparisons of thefts, but have analyzed arsons, murders, manslaughters, and sexual offenses, the 4 main areas in which comparisons between the races is possible. Check this out. Of the sexual crimes committed in Massachusetts, fornication, bastardy, and rape were most prevalent. It's funny because you guys still do this. White and black folks still do this all the time. Y'all do this to each other in jail. According to the 1679 laws and ordinances of war, a compilation of previous statutes, rape and ravishment and unnatural abuse were punishable by death. Fornication and other distillate lasciviousness were penalized at the judge's discretion. Taking into account the severity and circumstances of the case, fornication by both Negro and white was a considerable problem in early Massachusetts. Fornication, meaning without marriage. And the many recorded cases provided ample opportunity for comparable analysis. Like I told you, you guys are right tied to the hip, man. Tied to the hip. Check this out. We're just getting beginning. Okay, watch this. We're just getting beginning. Although there's no evidence that it was practiced, racial intermarriages was not illegal until 1705. Before then, most miscegenations was illicit. If it led to bastardy, penalties for both races were generally the same as for simple fornication. Do you realize that there's no such thing as natives mentioned here yet, right? In most cases, the court sought to determine paternity in order to provide the child support. And this led to additional costs for the father. Usually the woman was whipped from 10 to 20 stripes or ordered to pay a 40 to 50 shillings fines. Remember, these are black women sleeping with white people, white men, and black men sleeping with white women, white women sleeping with black men, and black men sleeping with white women. The same concept. You guys know it. In 1682, for example, Richard Pryor, the comedian, gave 30 pounds sterling to save Ipswich from maintaining his illegitimate child. The same year, John Tucker was fined £6 in order to pay an undisclosed amount for birth and support. In 1679, the court ordered John Hoskins to give his partner's father 1 shilling per week. Mixed races. You see how you guys been doing this to each other, white and black folks? This has been going on for years. The nerve of you guys to think you're not white or you're not black. How stupid, man. You guys are the real. If you want to talk about mixture, you guys are the real mixture. You guys have the real problem because most of y'all don't even realize that you could be blackety black, but your grandpappy was always been white. For having a bastard, hold on, let me go up. When the races mixed, the penalty were about the same. William Rain, father of a child by the Indian servant, and you see that? Indian servant. First, white and Negroes had the same rights. Here we see Indian servants don't have the same rights. Wobbles, what's the difference? How do they know which one's Indian or a Negro if you look the same? Stupid ass. It says here, paid 3 shillings a week for having a bastard. Now that is called a bastard. The white Hannah Bonnie was well whipped. Her mate Nimrod Negro was also whipped and made to turn over 18 pence weekly for his offspring. Let me read it again. For having a bastard, the white Hannah Bonnie was well whipped. Her mate, Nimrod Negro, was also whipped and made to turn over 18 pence weekly for his offspring. You see this? A white woman and a black man. Illegitimate Negro children were generally awarded financial support in amounts similar to those paid to whites and mixed offsprings. In 1673, the Negro Sylvanus produced 2 shillings 6 pence per week for his son's upbringing. But I thought you guys didn't have it good. Here we see that you Negroes living the life, bro. You guys can go get laid, have kids, and not take care of them. Sounds pretty familiar. Remember the scriptures? The things that have always been. There's nothing new under the sun. I told you to bring the new and the old. To bring things that are not, to bring things that are. The 2 Negro, listen, rape, a more serious offense, could be punishable by death. The 2 Negro cases in the published records reveal the severity dealt offenders. Basto Negro was convicted in 1676 of raping the 3-year-old daughter of Robert Cox. Wow, bro.
Bruh. Wait a minute. Who are you?
When Cox appealed Basto's death sentence, the jury substituted 39 lashes and ordered him always to wear a rope around his neck to hang down 2 feet. I wonder now why there were some of y'all that had these particular things around your neck. If ever he was found without his rope, Basto would feel an additional 20 lashes. Shortly thereafter, John Negro confessed to pulling Sarah Phillips of Salem of horses and attempting to ravish her. Damn. Remember the scripture about the sister Dila and how that Hamite raped her? It just doesn't change, does it? John's penalty for attempted rape was £5 payments to Miss Phillips, prosecuted in courts, and banishment from the colony. You see that, family? He wasn't hung on he wasn't hung. Was he hung? Don't they say that, oh my God, they lynched him? No, they didn't lynch his ass at all. They let him go. Whites also received stiff penalties. But I thought white people like wouldn't be punished to kill a black man or hang a black man. No, they did. They did. Look at this right here. Equitable treatment. The bottom part. Man, stop, bro. You stupid. I'm talking to myself, by the way, family. Equitable treatment for Negroes extended to other capital offenses. According to the law, murder was to be paid with the death of a murderer. Page 172. Okay? Watch this real quick. A measure of Massachusetts concerning for justice was the care in which she appraised murder cases, often meting out punishments for manslaughter instead. Thoughtful scrutiny reflected a recognition of extenuating circumstances, and this attitude did not exclude Negro assailants with whites. See this? I see a lot of commonality between you two. A lot of it. A lot of it. In addition, here I'm right here. One juror feeling as Hawthorne had in 1660. Remember, in 1660 was party sequitur ventrum, the law against our women. Okay? Not black women, not black people, our women. Party sequitur ventrum. I've done a class on that. You hear clearly that Negroes at this time had equal rights as whites. That Negroes did not deserve the same distribution of justice with ourselves. Refused to appear. You see that? So this guy was like, I don't like that. But hey, it don't matter. In reply, the courts fined him 5 shillings. You see this? Let me go back. Robin was guilty of having John Cheney of Cambridge a mortal wound on the head with a stick in 1869. Sorry, let me go back. Let me keep going. His punishment was light. Charge of prosecution fees of court and cost of prison where he was to remain until he paid. Robin had pled not guilty, but was extenuating circumstances that brought about the easy sentence are not recorded. Here goes. More important, however, is that after the jury had been selected, Robin was allowed to make challenges against any of them. In addition, one juror, feeling as Hawthorne had in 1660, that Negroes did not deserve the same distribution of justice with ourselves, refused to appear. That juror, in reply to the court, fined him 5 shillings. Through this concrete act, the court clearly stated that shirking jury duty was inexcusable and that due process extended to blacks as well as whites.
Who are you?
But I thought you guys were enslaved. What is all this so-called reparations? Why do you ask and say and accuse certain people as if justice wasn't given to you equally when the whole entire time it was given to you equally? Clearly, we know that justice wasn't given to us so-called natives equally, because here we clearly see that Negroes and white people were treated equally, like it says here. Through this concrete act, the court clearly stated that shirking jury duty was inexcusable and that due process extended to blacks as well as whites in 1660. Partus sequitur ventrum. Yeah, sure, I'll tell you. The Puritan New England, Essays in Religion, Society, and Culture. Alden Vogue and Francis Bremer, editor. It's a heavy book. We're not even through yet. We're almost done. Well, in this one, let's see. So we see a lot of recorded cases in this time where so-called Negroes were being thought of as equal to the so-called white man. It was not so. It was not what we were told. Okay, so stop believing that shit. All right. So IUIC, ISUPK, GMS, you're over and done with. Your whole theory or so-called doctrine that Deuteronomy 28 applies to you guys, that's pretty stupid, because you know what? Clearly we see that it didn't work, and clearly we know that only applies to us. Clearly we know that you didn't get no smallpox. Clearly we know that you didn't diminish. Clearly we know that there was no king set over you. Clearly we know that there was no olives or trees that were given to you. Clearly we know that the so-called the gods of wood and stone that you wouldn't know, that you wouldn't even know of, languages that you never heard of. Clearly we know that you knew all of them because you were pushing that even back then. So guess what, man? Your shit is over. You know what? I know you're not gonna stop teaching your crap because it's part of the devil way. That's just part of your devilish ways. That is what it is, man. You're gonna be Canaan, and you will always be Canaan, and nothing's gonna stop that. It's okay. My job is to continue to remind you. If the Negro legal status was not circumscribed by pigmentation, neither were his economic opportunities. Several black men, servants and free, accumulated real and other property. The color of skin did not by definition render them ineligible for economic gain. Although most Negroes were members of the servant class, true, therefore, at the bottom of the economic ladder, some were able to carve out inevitable niches in the white business world. Listen to this, miscegenation. That's right, man. That's music to their ears, bro. So any of you so-called black folks that want to say that you are native because you have a certain lighter skin tone, or because your nostrils aren't that wide, or because your lips aren't that big, or because because you have longer hair or whatever, it's because you mix with the gringo. That's why. You mix with the gringo. And the only people that really were classified as bottom barrel was us, not you. So this whole doctrine, this whole stupidity about reparations, excuse my language, it's a fucking excuse. You just don't want to raise your children, or you don't want to be men. I don't understand what it is. Clearly, you had it as good. And the reason I said earlier, I showed you a video of people in Africa that are suffering. Listen, man, those people over there don't have it like you have it, Mr. Black Man. If you are a loser, then you're a two-time loser. Gotcha, bitch. You want to know why? Because they never had it like you have it. But you're sitting here asking for fucking reparations when you are in a country that takes everything from everyone else and makes it simple for you to consume, but instead you choose to what? Let's continue. We're going to find out more. It says here, the story of Angola illustrates... No, sorry, hold on. Although most Negroes were members of the servant class, and here he goes. The story of Angola illustrates a possibility. Watch this. Listen to this. In 1653, he was owned by Captain Robert Cayen, who in his will in 1656 left Angola a 2-pound legacy. Then the free Negro, Bostonian Ken, purchased Angola and sent him free for bonding his property to Miss Kane. In 1670, Governor Richard Bellingham sold a piece of land bordered upon the northeast of the land of Angola, the Negro. Bellingham had given him 50-foot, giving him this 50-foot square piece in the late 1660s, when Angola, paddling in a river, had rescued the governor from his sinking boat. Huh, interesting, right? Watch this. Watch this real quick. In the 20 years before his death, Angola had paid his 18 pounds obligation to Ken and had moved from a servant with a 2-pound legacy to a free Negro of means. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Most of the other 17th century Negro landowners received their holdings from their masters. In 1677, Increase Mather bought land bordered on the northwest by the land of Jethro, the Negro. If Governor Bellingham and Reverend Mather had owned the choice land, bordering Negro holdings may have also been desirable. Other Negroes held land, houses, small businesses. When Thomas, owner of a chairmaker establishment, married Catherine in 1678, he drew up a lengthy document granting her his estate in case his death and bound him for himself 100 pounds surety. Zipporah Potter, daughter of one of Robert Kane's Negroes, bought a 28 by 60-foot parcel of lands near a dwelling house thereupon. A lot of property being sold here, isn't it? Property that doesn't belong to y'all. Property that once belonged to our people. But yet you said that you suffered. A few Negroes were property owners, but the majority were house servants living with white families. Oh, miscegenation. Many resided in Boston, but those in outlying areas in Boston and the Boston blacks who traveled about broadened interracial contact. Most Negroes lived in their masters' homes, were often left alone, and could come and go as they please when they were not working. They were not restricted to the towns in which they lived. In many cases, moved freely about the countryside. Freedom of movement opened upon certain options. One option, running away, may have been a product of working class discontent, true, but running away was always encouraged by alternative acts of repression offered. Freedom of the movement permitted a certain amount of fraternization between races and lower classes. The derogatory view of most whites did not preclude informal relations. Occasionally, mutual activities were forms of antisocial behavior. In 1673, for example, John Burrington, Edward Fish, Richard Collingworth, Negro Tom, Thomas Clifford, servant, and a fifth man stole saddle and bridle and plotted to run away. About the same time, Gregory, Nathan Emerson, Arthur Abbott, and a Negro, you see, they were white and black, broke into a house, took wine, and improvised a drinking party. But not all interracial mingling was mischievous. You see what I'm saying, family? Now, this is going to get good. Watch this here. Let me see. The colony's mechanism of social control, which permitted easy interracial contact, did not make Negroes full-fledged citizens or the social equal of whites, but neither were the whites shunned to another realm of existence. The Negro hovered on the fringes of full participation in social and economic life. Where the hell did you guys suffer? Where in the world? What are you talking about, man? You guys were fully embraced into this society, fully on with the white man. That's why you see football games, right? That's why you see black and white folks playing together like, man, like they're family, bro. Except for militia policy, no laws were passed applying only to Negroes until 1680. Old and New England had fitted the black man into the social system without legally recognizing slavery or a slave caste. Within the broad guidelines of the common law and Puritan religious views, Massachusetts had extended century-old rights of Englishmen to them. The new Negro policies were responses to three social concerns. This was later on as they saw things happening. A widespread anathema for the slave trade, a pervasive uneasiness about the colony's economic future, and the growing anxiety about the Negro's behavior. So this happened after. It's like when you've been living with your roommate for too long. Y'all both conquered this land, but now you're kind of getting tired of each other. One in particular doesn't like the fact that you keep mixing with his women. Let's just talk about the white guy. The white guy got tired of you sleeping with his women. They saw too many mulattoes, is what they're saying. That's what this book is actually referring to as well. Check this out. On the bottom, it says the first regulation on Negroes were clause inserted into general laws prohibiting Negroes, mulattoes, Indians, and servants and apprentices from buying or being served alcoholic beverages. See this later in 1680, the same group were warned about stealing or giving away stolen goods, and whites who induced theft and received stolen merchandise were similarly promised punishment. Watch this real quick. I think this is the last page. Let's see. Sexual intercourse and racial intermarriage were now specifically prohibited. You see, things started changing. Certain people in power started. Let me see. Yeah, sure, sis. Hold on. Here it goes right there. The Puritan New England. Okay. So what I'm noticing is I think the people in power, specifically white folks, they didn't like the consistent mixturing. They were seeing that their bloodline was not. They were leaving. It was like, shoot, man, we're mixing with too much. They're not, they're mixing too much. So now they were like, okay, how could we stop this? How do we stop this? Okay. Fixed penalties were imposed on both races. Fornication was no longer left to judicial decision. Negro offenders were banished, and the white consorts, male or female, assumed responsibility for the offspring. The law reemphasized the desirability of Negro marriages, presuming as part of an effort to minimize mulatto birth. You see, this happened after. So It has nothing to do with, oh, it started this way. No, fam. They've been doing this for a while. For a while. And as you can see here, it goes right here. In 1705, the law placed a 4-pound duty on Negro imported into the colony and set heavy penalties on violators. The new duty aimed to discourage the slave trade. Some Puritans wished to rid the colony of Negroes or prevent any more from coming on, but restrictions on importations did not rest on this basis alone. 7 years later, in 1712, the General Court prohibited the trade of Indians. This whole time, we were being enslaved. I showed you the global Indios. Since 1492, we were being enslaved, sold back and forth. The Negro here was not getting that done. They were being treated as equals. Treated as equals. Treated as equals. I have no problem with you guys. Particularly, personally, no problem at all. But what I have a problem with is when you don't recognize real slavery right here, family. That is real slavery. That's real slavery. Right there. Now the Jews reckoned to the ground. Right. What curses? Every day I see those two as couples. Even as gays and lesbians, bro. That's hey, sis, you ain't your line. Shit. They love and hate each other, man. Hey, it's funny because it's just like I told you, roommates, bro. It's like roommates, you kind of tired of each other. You know, like you're tired of each other being roommates, but you kind of deal with each other because you got a history between each other. It's like, I can't just, you know what I mean? I can't just ignore it. So that's why, fam. Here, I'm gonna tell you this real quick. Here, I'm gonna show you this book. This book is pretty good too, by the way. In case you guys didn't catch it, this is the one where they're showing that they're cannibals. They did this. So next time somebody tries to tell you that we were cannibals, nah, we're not, man. That's not true, fam. These guys are the real ones. They were licking the blood of the dead. That's nasty. So go tell Candace Owens, based on her logic, I shouldn't be listening to Negroes or white folks because you guys are cannibals and you're drug users too. I mean, look at fentanyl. You're still using fentanyl. You're dying over it. So you got a history of cannibalism and you're current drug users. Based on that logic, I should not listen to you. Based on the logic again. But I'm not illogical. Thank the Most High for that one. Family, this is why Mark 4:30 applies to you. The parable of the mustard seed. And he said, whereunto show we liken the kingdom of God. The kingdom of God dwelleth within you. So he's talking about the nation of the Most High. Or with what comparison shall we compare it? It is like a grain of mustard seed. Right now, you guys are just like mustard seed right now. It takes about 5 solid years before it blossoms. It is like the grain of the mustard seed, which when it is sown in the earth, is less than all the seeds that be in the earth. That's why you saw a bunch of fish being caught in the net. Oh, yeah, we believe in the Most High. He's black. We're going to fly in the sky. We're going to have a lot of bitches and shit. Yeah, reparations. No, they don't work that way. Doesn't work that way. Many fish were caught. But then he was told, hey, listen, divide them. Just like the wheat and the tares. They're no different. You guys know the parable of the wheat and the tares, right? If somebody has a scripture, I'll read it real quick. That's why we have to be watchful servants, proper managers of our home, not self-interested in only your benefit. Like, this isn't about us, man. This is not about us, family. This is not about, like, I'm not here doing this. I'm here putting the brick in because obviously my salvation matters, right? But then once I put this in, it's like, yo, I'm doing it for y'all, man. Y'all got to start thinking like that for your gente. Protect your gente. Show them the scriptures. Show them this history. Show them. Talk to them about it, man. Hey, did you know that this happened, bro? Nah. Nah, bro. Did you know that we were taken all over the world? Nah, bro. It is like a grain of mustard seed, which when it's sowed in the earth, it is less than all the seeds that be in the earth. Yeah. You so-called Hispanics ain't that's what they say. Black man, you're so-called a Hebrew. That's what white people say. Israelis, white people say you're the Hebrews. Everybody is, oh, yes, look at this whole great history, shine you. People pay thousands of dollars to watch them, and no this and them. And I understand Palestinian, our brothers over there, but quite frankly, man, I'll be real with y'all. Ain't nobody wanted to be Mexican, bro. Not even Mexicans wanted to be Mexicans at one point. That's why we started calling ourselves different names and shit. No offense, but that's where Chicano came from. It's like you wanted to be different. You don't want to be looked upon like a Mexican. So let me give myself a different name. Because then now we're a new Mexican. Not even a Mexican wanted to be a Mexican. It is like the grain of a seed, of a mustard seed, which when it's sown in the earth, it is less than all the seeds that be in the earth. But when it is sown, which is why I say Hosea 10 talks about breaking them clods. Let me finish this and I'll go to it. But when it is sown, it groweth up and becometh greater than all the herbs, and shooteth out great branches, so that the fowls of the air may lodge under the shadows of it. Meaning, when you're a great tree and you raise great children and you teach people the great things about the scriptures and who you are according to the Bible and your history, and everything that happened to you is actually in this book, and you share your kids and your kids share to other kids, then other people, other nations will start seeing you like, oh man, they might be right. You don't think other nations are listening? You don't think they sit back and like, yeah, man, probably true, man, because they do act like that. Raza, we're just different, fam. No matter how much oppression we've been going through, we still have the spirit to get up in the morning, love our kids, hug them. I love my family. I love my children. I love my wife. I love this life that I have been given. No, I'm not well off. I struggle too, but I balance myself. I make time for my kids. I make time for my wife. I definitely make time for the scriptures, and I work. What more do I want? But when it's sown, it groweth up and becometh greater than all the herbs. It's not about the might, how tall you are, how much woolly hair, how dark skin you got. It's about the spirit. Because my spirit, I may not be very big. I'm not short, but I may not be very big. But I'll tell you this, it's going to take a lot to bring me down. You want to bring some fire to this channel? Bring some fire and see how strong your spirit is. And I'll show you with my actions, with my scriptures, and with history. Because I don't go around faking funk like saying I'm a so-called chief, so-called whatever, this and that, right? What did he say? What is this? Chiefs Chazarard or Sakari threatened to beat up white folks and Asians. Yeah, that's a weak man, bro. It's a weak man. I remember when I was young, yeah, it felt pretty good to say that. But again, it doesn't matter, bro, because you know what? They sprung up real quick. They sprung up real quick, fam. Right? Yeah. Look at us, look. God is black. God is black. But when it soweth, it goeth up and becometh greater than all the herbs. But when? How? What happened? But when it soweth. Remember that? That's why this one right here is one of my favorite. It says here, Hosea 10:10, it is my desire that I should chastise them, and the people shall gather against them when they shall bind themselves in their two furrows, meaning the other nations are going to give us a hell of a beat down, and that's when we're going to start seeing the unity. Ephraim is a heifer that is taught, and loveth to tread out the corn, but I passed over her fair neck. I will make Ephraim to ride, Judah shall plow, and Jacob shall break his clods, meaning that together we're going to break ground. But baby, these people are going to speak up first. And together, they're going to break the clods. Now, which ones? The clods of insincerity, doctrines of devils, white Jesus, black Jesus, who the real conquistadors are. Which is why it says, sow yourselves in righteousness together. Reap in mercy together. No category. Oh, I'm Judah. I'm Issachar. I'm Naphtali. Oh, I'm Joseph. Oh, shut up, man. Oh, I'm Ephraim. Man, shut up, man. Because it says clearly together. Ephraim is going to pull. Judah is going to hold. Because you need the heifer and the plower to break ground. The heifer can't do it itself because you got to guide it. And Jacob shall break his clods. All this BS that we've been dealing with. Sow yourselves to righteousness. Reap in mercy. break up that fallow ground, or your fallow ground. You know, that damn dry brain of yours, believing all this stupidity, believing that, well, it's just because just how men are, man. You can't tell yourself to stop lusting. Oh, I'm an alcoholic. I'm always gonna be an alcoholic forever. Nah, you're stupid. Oh, I'm a drug addict. Nah, you're stupid, man. You gotta find strength within your weakness. If you get it, you get it. You don't, you don't. Sow yourselves in righteousness, reap in mercy, break up your fallow ground, for it is time to seek Yahoo till he come and rain righteousness upon you. Clearly, the words say, he that believeth on me, out of the scriptures, he that believeth on me, out of his belly shall flow like rivers of living water. Till he come and rain righteousness. Ye have plowed wickedness, ye have reaped iniquity, ye have eaten the fruit of lies. Stop trusting yourself, man. Start really looking into it. Make time to study. Now, we all going to have the right answers? 100% no, we're not. But remember, the mustard seed, it's not the most obvious that's going to grow, fam. It never was. Whoever told you that stupid lie, they're dumb, man. They only do that to make it appear as if. Remember, it says, if the scriptures say, if they say, lo, the Messiah is here, lo, the Messiah is there, or lo, the word is here, or lo, the word is there, believe them not. All I'm saying is, look at the path, look what I found, take those steps, learn yourself. Matthew 13:24, another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. See, the word was supposed to be given proper to everybody, not just but specifically our people as the heads, but other nations are going to have to learn this. But while men slept, meaning when he, left people in management, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. But when the blades sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So they grow quicker. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst thou sow good seed in thy field? Let me read it this way so I can just get to the point. One night when everyone was asleep, an enemy came and sowed seeds among the wheat and went away. When the plants grew and the heads of the grain began to form, then the weeds showed up. So it's like, oh, shoot, wait a minute. Because they look very similar. They're going to act very similar. They're going to believe in the Most High. They're going to even teach righteousness. Oh, we keeping the laws. But you start seeing something about them. Wait a minute. You don't look like a grain. You look more like a weed. The manservant came to him and said, Sir, it was good seed you sowed in your field. Where did the weeds come from? It was some enemy who did this, meaning Satan. He answered, do you want us to go and pull up the weeds? They asked him, no. He answered, because as you gather the weeds, you might pull up some of the wheats along with them. Let the wheat and the weeds both grow together. That's why I said, family, one of us is lying. One of us is lying, man. And you know what? I have no idea why I don't. There's no doubt in me. I feel the Lord, and I know that I'm not doing this for filthy lucre, for self-interest, because I want you to believe what I believe. Nah, BS. If you don't believe what I believe, I don't give a shit. This is what I found. This is what the book says. This is what history says. This is what they were teaching us. And I didn't make none of this up. Let the wheat and the weeds both grow together until the harvest. Somebody is lying. One of us is lying. Christianity, BHIs, Wobbles, Comets, all of you, Cyanettas, every single one of y'all. Yeah, I used to be KGMS. Every single one of you, or even including myself, one of us is lying heavily. Then will I tell the harvester workers to pull up the weeds first. And guess what? If I'm lying, if my people did do this shit, then I better pay, man. Then we deserve to pay. If I'm not, if I really had to do with the destruction of other people, if my forefathers did, then you know what? Then I damn well better pay. Then will I tell the harvest workers to pull up the weeds first, tie them in a bundle and burn them. and then gather the wheat and put it in a barn. So I don't know. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm not afraid, family. I'm afraid of repentance. That's where I stand on. That's what I believe in. And Lord willing, he forgives me for some of the things I don't see. But I'll leave you guys with this. Psalms 51:5. I have been evil from the day I was born, from the time I was conceived. I have been sinful. Bad interpretation. Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. So just like how and I always say this, man. Leave a legacy, family. Work on leaving a legacy for your family. Brothers, man, if you guys focus on how you want your children to memorize you, like, did he make a change, man? Do you know how good it feels to have your wife tell you that she admires you for the change for the man that I've become, what I used to be? Like, do you guys know what that? If you brothers don't know what that feels like, bro, then to make 180% twitch, like just. Luke 18:2 says, Luke 18:2, saying, there was a city a judge, which feared not God, neither regarded man. And there was a widow in that city. And she came unto him, saying, avenge me of my adversary. And he would not for a while. Y'all the widows. But afterwards he said, the widows is like our nation of people. But afterwards he said within himself, though I fear not God, nor regard man, yet because this widow troubleth me, I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming she worry me. So check this out. And the Lord said, hear what the unjust judge saith, and shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he be bear long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth? That's why I read Psalms 51. It takes time sometimes, family. I'll tell you this right now, man. Leave a legacy, fam. In a legacy, because you know what? None of us take anything, man. The only thing we can do is leave memories to our children of what we've done and how we fought to become just better people overall, and how we actually found some of the stuff that not even our parents taught us.
¿No han visto ustedes un funeral, un entierro, en donde lleven mudanzas al panteón? ¿Qué te vas a llevar, primo hermano? Nada. Llévate la satisfacción de que fuiste un buen ciudadano, una buena persona, un buen ser humano. Llévate esa satisfacción. ¿Dónde vas a meter las mansiones, tus departamentos y las alhajas, y todos tus bienes? No hay mudanza. Solamente lo barato se compra con el dinero. La felicidad es el hacer el bien, sin mirar a quién.
That's love for your brother, family, without expecting anything, man. Without expecting anything back. So you damn that are over there asking for filthy lucre. The only time I asked was because I was getting asked from brothers if I could help them. That was it. But man, that's sad, bro. Y'all falling for that trap. It's so sad. Anyways, let me finish off with some videos, man, and then I'll let y'all go, okay? Let's go.
Cuando a veces saco para comer, como bien ahorita, y guardo para la noche mi lechita o mi pan, pero no falta cualquier cosita. Ahorita ya me anda fallando mi bocina, voy a estarla checando y si no tengo que comprarla y son caras. Bueno, dentro de lo que cabe para mi presupuesto.
¿Cuánto cuesta?
Como 250.
Le doy para su bocina, señor. ¿Dónde se lo guardo? ¿En su botecito? ¿Se lo doy en la mano?
En la mano, sí, porque me lo sacan.
Sí, ¿verdad?
Sí.
¿Le ha tocado que le saquen el dinero?
Sí, ya me robaron. Andan los de esos luego ando con la mona moneando. Cuando siento me dan macanazo en mi cabeza y me arrancan los vasos así y corrió y ya me dejó ahí tirado. Cuando a veces saco para comer.
Ricardo Belmont Casinelli, fui exalcalde de Lima 2 veces, candidato a la presidencia, y con el perdón de los mexicanos, le digo que esta es mi segunda patria. Viniendo a México me dijo, mi menor de mis hijos, papá, quiero ir contigo para conocer al presidente de México. Y cuando estábamos en el avión, le dije, mira Augusto, la vida está hecha de pequeños gestos. Y te voy a decir una cosa, aquí donde estamos sentados nosotros, viaja el presidente de México. Ese solo gesto, señor presidente, lo recordaremos siempre, porque nunca antes un presidente hizo lo que usted está haciendo por los que quieren entender que un gesto, un abrazo, y lo que usted ha hecho por el Perú, por las 75 víctimas asesinadas en el Perú, no lo ha hecho nadie, ni en el Perú. La prensa se ha levantado como usted lo ha hecho. Mi nombre es Ricardo.
Mexicano bandera. Siempre poniendo vida. Mexicanos al grito de guerra. Yo defiendo mi tierra. No me dejo de nadie. Yo cuido a los míos. El mexicano es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Desde blanco rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya que va afuera. El mexicano es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera.
Remember, family, man, we got a lot of people that come to the Mexica land, bro, and they end up saying, no, I may be this, I may be that, but, you know, I feel in my heart I am this. You know why? Because of the way we treat each other, family. So I extend my love over to you when I put these flags. It ain't because I'm excluding anybody. It's what I relate to and how I express it. But I want to include everybody on this particular, you know, subject, because I'm not excluding nobody, man. We're all the same people. We're all the same people. You guys got to understand that. So when I say, when you see brothers and sisters saying protect your gente, that's everybody. Not, oh, well, wait, hey, man, are you Mexican or Salvadorian? Don't be stupid, bro. Don't be stupid. All right. So, anyways, hope that was good, man. I hope that was edifying. You know, apparently, again, family, I appreciate y'all. Remember the books I brought out? Oh, by the way, is this one here? That's the book, the one about, you know, the people eating themselves and shit. And then this one was, oh, that's right, I forgot, man. I'll read it another day. Yeah, I'll read another day. All right, I'll read another day. Was that I forgot to read that, but technically it was a little bit outside the subject. Not really necessarily outside the subject, but it's within the subject. All right, cuídense, hermanos. That's right, bro. We're all the same family. We're all one, like I said before, bro. For real, man. Tainos, Mexicas, bro. We're the same bloodline, same tribes. Just, you know, well, same bloodline, the seed, different tribes. Okay, cuídense, hermanos. All right, shalom, saludos. Oh, by the way, I wanted to share something with y'all. I need to do a class on the new moon that's coming up this week. Well, at least I'll show y'all. I'll see if I can do one maybe tomorrow or the next day before the new moon, so I can tackle some of the topics. I won't take too long on that one, but I will use a couple books to show you how we were keeping the actual following the new moon traditionally, like our gente too, and then how the scriptures say that we're supposed to do that, okay? So, anyhow, man, ya cuídense, hermanos. Hasta luego.
Mexicano bandido, todo el barrio prendido, siempre ando bien cuido, siempre poniendo ruido. Mexicanos al grito de guerra, yo defiendo mi tierra, no me dejo de nadie, yo cuido a los míos, mi raza se aferra. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera, yo la levanto por donde quiera, verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera, el barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera, yo la levanto por donde quiera, verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera, el barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Me voy tendido, me voy empinando mi bote, un poco mareado por la bebida y el borlote, me tiene hasta la riata la gente con su mitote, pero me despreocupo, me pelan todo el garrote, me para la chota, ya es por mi apariencia, que hay tantos delitos, que hay tanta demencia, yo no cargo nada, no más mi presencia, pinche puerco joto, atente a las consecuencias, si nos topa el poli en breve nos para en la calle, no puede salir uno homie porque ya hay detalle, no quiere que conteste, quiere que yo solo calle, quiere mi dinero pero que chinga su madre, a la dica este sistema nos quieren ver abajo, pero tumbar gente quien les dijo que es trabajo, puro chingar al indio, váyanse mucho al carajo, loco no me rajo, lo bueno porque
se armó la alianza más pesada del país, todo el mundo ya conoce las rimas de estos MCs, pa' ponerme más feliz, unos paisas de hachís, mis paisas en el gabacho bien truchas con la polis, loco en Guanajuato con los ojos bien tumbados, de coto con el quesada, rifando por todos lados, atento si prendo un blunt, en cabina cuando grabo, represento Nuevo León, junto a mi carnal el Davo, cuando voy pa' Jalisco el pasado está olvidado, con el perro de la C bien grifo pedo y enfiestado, chécate mi banderón, unido como había soñado, bien bajado ese balón, compa lefty bien bajado, puro hip hop mexa, hasta que amanezca, pásenme un mezcal y que no se apague la yesca, ya saben que aquí andamos pilas pa' lo que se ofrezca, si escribo estas rimas es pa' que se enorgullezca.
Verde marihuana, blanca cocaína, roja la sangre que escurre de una nueva herida. Yo salí de la ruina, nunca se me olvida. Con disciplina y respeto sigo en siempre la movida. Ando bien high, la vida es un freestyle. Disfruta lo que hay, vivo entre el bien y el mal, carnal. Crazy life todo el día, viendo live. Pinto tu barda con spray, lo que canto es real. Azules y rojas las sirenas que me persiguen. No suben pa' la virgen, salen todos cuando chifle. Mi barrio no lo pisen, que andamos todos grises. Maldito policía, no quiero que me revises. Prende la mota en Canala o en Hitter. Ando con mi flota y el dealer. Tenemos lo que se te ofrezca, tú nada más pide. Me dijo mi madre que de la envidia me cuide.
Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera.
Ya, ábranse cabrones, llegó el mexicano partiendo sin necesidad de palanca. Todos jugamos en la misma liga, yo soy titular, tú ves desde la banca. Disfruto cada cosa que me pasa, colaboro y mi carrera se levanta. El mismo cabrón que antes no tenía nada, se la pasa viajando y dice que canta. Por eso me caga enfermarme de la garganta. Pero aguanta, traigo mata natural y humo de planta. 2, 3 cabrones dando lata y yo haciendo más plata. De esto la vida se trata y pa' que sepas no es barata. MC Davo los desbarata con cada escalón que sube. Yo tuve la suerte de hacerme fama en YouTube. Hay 2, 3 raperos de antaño que me bajé de su nube. Los mandé pa' su casa y de premio hasta les pagué el Uber. Si alguien me tira es porque sabe bien que domino el negocio y quiere de mi parte. No quiero darlas de grande, pero si me tiras la neta me toca humillarte. Soy capitán, llevo el estandarte. Somos muy pocos los que hacemos arte. Este flow si es de Marte, tú dale like y comparte.
México lindo y bandido, diario a Diosito le pido que me cuide a la familia si un día el cora ya no late. Estoy bendecido porque me cuidan los
los míos orgullosamente me exatamos locos de remate. Jaque mate, no hablé de volar si viene gateando. La cosa por la frontera se pone violenta, no importa el rango. Toda la raza jalándole duro, si hay algo seguro es la muerte en donde ando. Sudor y la sangre en la frente, los de alzada controlando. Se roban la atención, ya saben quiénes son. Vatos locos con sazón como el de un corridón. No quiera tomarme el pelo si ando todo pelón. Levantando la bandera, viva México cabrón.
Es el perrito de la C. La bandera con un águila, Simón, mi tierra es esta. Me vale si mi piel o si mi acento les molesta. Acá jalan horas extras, nunca duermen la siesta. Están los que van pa'l jale y los que la viven de fiesta. Otros que en el pintón se tatúan de corazón. 3 colores en el pecho, morirían por su nación. Aunque su puto gobierno los puso en la situación de no terminar la escuela y terminar en la prisión. ¡Viva México, ladrones! ¿Qué hubo, les presidente? Ya saben que por mí policías chinguen a 20. Y ahí están mis 20 pa' la cagua. Aguas, que es tierra caliente de Chiapas hasta Chihuahua. Wow, 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 yipi-yo, yipi-yucas. Buenas, Montequín, Aguas, Tijuas y San Lucas. San Luis Potoyes, Mataulipas, La Puebluca. Dime si o no, loco, acá tienen lo que buscas.
Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Puro hip hop mexa, perros, 2023.
Ey yo, ey yo. Somos la santa carnal.
Los machingones de la plaza.
Oye, DJ donde que los scratches. Desde alzada mi perro. No saben quién soy yo, sí. Oye.
Yaman a real. This is the cipher 3.
Ahora Babylon real.
En esta ocasión traigo a los gangsters más gangsters de la zona. Y vengo con la familia gang. ¿Cómo dice?
Yaman a real. Traigo el mensaje puro y crudo para el momento. No palabras vanas que rompen los sentimientos. Lucharé y derribaré los muros del lamento. Pídeme pues te daré los sueños que están muertos. Nunca el demonio dio mensajes de amor, pero tampoco los dio el ángel que nos abandona. Quizás miremos diferente el reloj, pero tu cielo es el infierno donde el amor murió. Political violence, criminal silence, physical redemption hasta que acabe el baile. Typical style, musical fraile. Mucha es la promesa en la que se han llevado el aire. Love and love and love, siente verdad como doy mi corazón. No more, no more, no more. It's a reggae cipher, feed the world. What time is it? Es de reventar el beat. Throw the tangle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti, pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí. What time is it? Es de reventar el beat. Throw the tangle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti, pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí.
Fue que me brotaron alas y ganas de volar. En las buenas mi terreno lleno, en las malas solar. Un muro que decorar, mis hermanos me sirven de guía, mi estrella polar. Guarda los hilos, me duele hasta respirar. Solo quiero ver verdad. Sigo buscándome lejos de lo que piensas. Más fácil de lo que crees, el esfuerzo trae recompensas. Vale la experiencia si es intensa. No tires de la cuerda si está tensa. Miraban al ocaso con tristeza. Las estrellas devolvían con grandeza su mirar. Nos vimos floreciendo en la maleza. La belleza de las piezas y comienzan a encajar.
Es de reventar el beat. Throw the tangle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti, pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí. What time is it? Es de reventar el beat. Throw the tangle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti, pues llegaron los señores y la paz de
de nuevo aquí. 51, 52, con un micro de bambú, más vueltas que Passepartout. Me siento en la old school. It's magnetic kung fu, it's a reggae magnatur. Por las almas sonrientes que acompañan a Zazú. En bambalinas y balú, son rimas de menú, no salidas de Benur, pero calidad y del sur. Homie, always lonely, but I feeling like a gangsta. 52, 53, a mí sí me ves venir, por eso me llaman King, ese fue mi devenir. De marchar o seguir, nunca tuve que elegir, la music me eligió a mí, no tengo nada más que decir. Saifa, Puniga, Loba, Grimble, Fire, Killaman, Smoker, Chusta, Feel Light, Rasta, Child Metal, Kimanes, Original a Reggae, Saifa again.
Interna en la villa del pingüino, entre los Calin en la antena y los que se encuentran dormidos zarandeas tus emociones cual barril de vino, cosas feas quizás en tus ideas, pero aquí no, yo no atino, disparo sin mirar a todo aquel vampiro que el diente quiera hincarme, bro. Si lo digo, no es para pensar, sino para aclarar lo que de siempre estás pensando. Acaba el tan magnífico, imposible de torcer metal, soltamos warriors again, making connection after connection. My new world, creating the freedom from them. Me more. Nanny boy, represent this game.
What time is it? Es de reventar el beat. Through the jungle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti, pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí. What time is it? Reventar el beat, flow the jungle in the street, reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti, pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo.
No hace falta presentación si existe nivel. Sobreviviendo en Babilonia escribí al papel mis problemas cuando al final pude entender que para ser feliz solo tienes que querer, que solamente hay una vida y es para vivir. Busca siempre una alternativa para seguir. No dejes nunca que te digan que no es así, y prende un poco de sativa para estar chill. Ey, superando ansiedades con el humo de cancha. Manchas de un pasado trágico en la cancha. Seguimos siendo fuertes, su mierda no me engancha. Mientras otros esperando a que lleguen en lancha. No matter where you come, no matter where you come from, solo importa que prestes atención a este sound. Desde the original, Killaman al mando. Oh, na, na, na.
Mira, soy un warrior, sonido legendario. Disfruto cada segundo cuando me subo al escenario. Tengo fuego en los labios, sigo cual mercenario. Pasos de gigante y cora revolucionario. Siento que es necesario, suena el reggae en los barrios, para que cale el mensaje y para salvar a los más sabios. Entre mi imaginario, quemo cheques bancarios. Si vienes con la mala vibra, mejor bro, cambia tu itinerario. Ya, 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 ya. Cuando ruge el león suena la música real. Venimos con el ya, 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 ya. Sonido de guión es el sonido original. Ya, 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 ya. Reggae de corazón es el que se hace en unidad. Ya, 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 ya. What time is it? Es de reventar el beat. Through the jungle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti, pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí. What time is it? Es de reventar el beat. Through the jungle in the street.
Ical, hijo, abre los ojos. Tu cuerpo se queda con nosotros, pero tu espíritu debe seguir. Busca la luz. Aléjate de las sombras. Deja que nuestro dolor sea tu fuerza. Desde aquí iluminamos tu camino. lucha como nosotros ante esta pena tan grande. Yo soy tú, tú eres yo. La muerte que hoy nos separa, mañana volverá a unirnos. Eres libre, hijo.